What's up? What's up, everybody? How are you doing? This is your girl, LaRhonda Marie. As you know, I am a correspondent for Swag Her magazine, and this is our segment of What's Going On. And I'm just waiting on my guests to arrive. But while I'm waiting, go ahead and just let me know you're here. Let me know. I love to know where everyone is from. Of course, I'm in Oklahoma City, and the weather is great today. But I'm excited about interviewing this next person. She is another person that will be speaking at the upcoming Black Queer Women's Conference. And we're Swagger is super excited to be one of the media groups that are helping get the word out about this phenomenal conference coming in September. And so I'm just waiting on my special guest to arrive. But while I am, please make sure that during this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me earn money. We will use our stars to hire more journalists and content creators while supporting an ecosystem, um, while supporting other Black-owned businesses, hoping to create an ecosystem that brings about success for all involved. If you find value in our content, send your stars today and tell a friend about our page. So yes, please let me know when you are on. I'd appreciate it. What's up, everybody? This is another segment of What's Going On. And so what we will be discussing today is with our special guest, Joy Young, Dr. Joy Young. And so I'm just waiting on her to arrive. But until then, again, if you are online, go ahead and let me know that you are here, that I'm not talking to myself. Let me know. I'm a Pisces, so I can definitely socialize with myself. But I would love to have your feedback, see what's going on in your life while we are waiting on our special guest to arrive. All right. So I can tell you what's been going on. Oh, I do have somebody. Let me know who is online. Let me know you're online. Just say hello. Tell me where you're from. I'm going to check and see if my special guest is having any issues getting online. Let's see. But in the meantime, what you guys got going on is 4th of July weekend. We just got off of celebrating our independence, Juneteenth. That was awesome. It was awesome for me. We spent in Oklahoma City, we had 2 weekends of celebration. And so I hope you guys had a lot of time to celebrate and learn more about your Black history during Juneteenth, what it's about, why we have June, why there is a Juneteenth, why our independence is different from the 4th of July. But as an American, I still celebrate 4th of July because as an American, that is our Independence Day. Um, but I do see my special guest. Well, I did see her. Let me see if she's going to come back. All right. Give me thumbs up if you're ready to join. Thumbs up. Okay. Let me bring you on. Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Dr. Joy?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for your patience. I don't know why it wasn't connecting to my laptop, so I tried to do it from my phone,
It's
but
okay.
it
Long
worked
as
out.
we got it, we good. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let Dr. Joy. How should I address you? Because you got a couple of names up there. I don't want to say Dr. Joy to Coach Young. You want me to call you
So,
Coach? What you want me to call you?
whatever you feel comfortable with. Absolutely, whatever you feel comfortable with.
I'm gonna go with Dr. Joy. Because if you're a doctor, I want to give you all that accolade, baby. That that
Thank you
wasn't
so
that wasn't
much.
that wasn't easy to come by.
I appreciate it so much.
Go ahead and tell the people who you are. Just give them a little bit uh introduction about yourself.
Absolutely. So, I am Dr. Joy Young. I go by the coach. So when I'm either doing the podcast or something online, so I do go by the coach.
Okay.
So I reside here in Baltimore, Maryland. No, I'm not a medical doctor. I am a doctor of business. So I work in corporate America as well as I do have my own business as a business
Okay.
consultant. And of course, it goes so much into business consulting, but outside of that, I'm a family woman. I'm married with children. And I love life and I love the Lord. So I think that's sums it up.
Hey, that sounds good. She love life and she love the Lord. That sound like me. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Right.
good thing. That's a
Yeah.
lead with that always.
Absolutely. And
Um,
thank you for the opportunity as well.
No problem. I do have a bit of her. I do have some of Dr. Joy's bio here. I'm gonna read it just a little bit because she don't want to, toot her own horn, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see. Dr. Joy Young, CSMPMP LSSMBB, is a visionary business consultant, wealth strategist, author, coach, and transformational leader committed to helping others unlock their divine potential. With over 20
Yes.
years of experience in project management and leadership, she empowers high achievers to build generational wealth through aligned strategy, spiritual embodiment, and actionable business systems. Her work blends legacy, liberation, and financial mastery. We all need a little
Yes.
bit of all of that. So
Hey, we have to be it for the community because
that's
if we don't, we got to, it's a village. It takes a village to be successful.
so what tell us about Young Joy first. Tell us about Young Joy. What was Young Joy like, Dr. Joy like?
Oh my God. So, actually, I was born and raised in Florida. So I am a Florida girl. Dad was in the military. So, of course, we traveled a lot. It was, all of the good
Mhm.
life that we could have. But my family is from Jacksonville, Florida. So, growing up in Florida, I think is the best thing ever. I was raised predominantly by my great grandmother. So,
Okay.
I was out in the field with her and having a good time. So, the young joy is where that the spirituality comes in at because
Okay.
that's where all of that basis come from.
That foundation.
I have definitely great foundation. My family is a big thing about school. That was your obligation. It wasn't, oh yeah, this is no, you had to go to school, you had to do what you need to do. So I wanted to make sure I kept that going. But growing up, actually I wanted to be a medical doctor, and so just life began to life. And so I ended up taking the detour to business, and I ended up moving and ended up relocating here back, I mean, in Maryland 2007, and just, kind of took it from there. And I think it wasn't until probably in the last, I want to say 3 years, I began to really hone in on what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Wow.
Because I never, and I say this often, you don't know because we're conditioned to
Right.
when you're growing up, they ask you that question in school, they put certain things in front of you. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, and they don't allow you to just be. So
Right.
when you get our age, you're like still trying to figure out life. You did what
Right.
was necessary to become successful, but you really don't know who you are.
Right.
And so now that I know who I am, I realize I want to be me.
Right.
Like, and it may sound light, but when you grow up, you want to be just like you. You became your ultimate role model, and
Right.
everything about you is so beautiful. You're like, I didn't want to be like Oprah. No, I think I'm better than that. you know so
Yeah.
that's where I'm at, and through that and the young joy learning and growing and maturing, that's where I am now, helping other people see that. Don't look for your reflection in somebody else's mirror. You look in
That's
your mirror and
good.
you find yourself.
So from that, how did you develop the chess program? That's pretty interesting.
Well, with chess, I realized that I love the game of chess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last month I taught my 5 year old how to play. So now she is beating on her other mother, in chess, and it's so funny. But I like the game. But then I took the game and I said, what if we applied these strategies
Mm-hmm.
in real life scenarios to be successful? Because it's easy for us to, checkers was the game. You
Right.
know, everybody, your whole goal was to dominate the board, king me at the end. But you
Right.
never, but there was no true winner. But
Right.
when you understand the game of chess and how each piece is so strategically placed, the moves they're allowed to make, and how you can win, you can actually win a chess game in 4 moves. And I actually
Mm-hmm.
teach that in my program, you know, but it's based off of the other person making very crucial mistakes. But you don't want to do that. You want to set up your game or your life in a strategic way to move each piece to be successful. And when you know who your key players are in your life, you can win the game with two players, the queen and the pawn. Those are your
Mm-hmm.
two best players in the entire game. And they represent black women.
I love that. I love that. Um, what was it about corporate America that made you say, "Hey, I need a program like chess. Something like that needs to be put out there." What was it about corporate America that made you think of that?
Because we're corporate America, but they don't want us to be the face of corporate America.
Mm,
It is a very, very rare chance that, especially a black woman, is going to
right.
get into the C suite level.
Right.
And the ones that are in C-suite levels, and we have one that was just named president over at FAMU, a historic black college, but she voted for Trump.
Mm,
So we know what gave
something.
her interest, right?
Right.
But so, and actually, my dissertation was based off of the underutilization of black women in corporate America. That
Wow.
was my paper,
I bet
because
you that's good.
we are the missing piece that nobody wants to give credit. We're the
Mm-hmm.
queen.
Mm-hmm.
We can move across the board in any way possible, but they underutilize us because they're so focused on the king. And I'm
Mm.
like, but the king alone can make one move at a time. But the queen can do everything
Move
on the board.
anyway.
They can go diagonal, up and down. They can go
Right.
all the way around. And if you lose your queen, you lose the game.
Right. Right.
So if we're not, they want us to get to a certain level to manage other black people. So they'll put us in a level of management because they want us to manage each other.
Right.
But they would never allow us to manage the ultimate goal, which is the business. No, you can't do that because you're going to lose without us. And
Right.
they're realizing that. So then what they do is call us in to be consultants. So
Mm.
that's why I deal with people in corporate and those that's transitioning out of corporate into an entrepreneur space to be a consultant. Because now I can charge a higher price. Because you didn't want to pay me salary, but now
Right.
you're going to pay me.
Right. Because I can make my own price this way.
Exactly. And that's
Mm-hmm.
our, and I advocate very hard. This is our black privilege. It may not be systematic, but it's strategic. And if we play it
Right.
right, I promise you, there's nobody that cannot succeed when they have us in the right place.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. It is different for us black women in corporate America. I've been in corporate America, and we have to work 10 times harder
Hmm.
to get a
To
bare
sing
minimum.
to their and I'm not, we black people can't be racist regardless of, because we don't have a system
Right.
that restricts race. But we
Right.
can be bigots because I'm from the South, so there's a lot of little bigotry there. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, their mediocrity is our bare minimum. But they don't see it like that.
Right.
And I'm like, you can, even when it comes down to asking questions, they are free to ask questions, but we feel like we'll come off dumb or inadequate if we even ask a question.
I agree.
But then we're penalized for not asking a question. So I'm
I
like, I'm damned if I do it, damned if I don't.
Yeah. That is so true. That that is so true. You do feel like sometimes. I know for me, I have been in the positions where I want to say certain things, but because of who I am, I know if it comes out of my mouth,
It's
it's
going to
not.
be taken
It's gonna
in
be
in it.
taken. Right.
Exactly. And so but because of who I am, I don't
Right.
care.
Yeah.
Because I'm like this here, at the end of the day, I'm very, very content and strong in who I am now, because I suffered with imposter syndrome. I dummy down everything about me to make everybody feel comfortable.
Right.
And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing
Right.
this no more. I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And even with the certifications and the degrees, is just to get your attention, but it
Right.
never changed what I knew
That's good. That's good.
or the way I delivered it.
Right.
You're not going to accept my assertiveness without the degrees and the certifications. You're going to deem it as aggressiveness, but it's the same
Right.
words.
Right.
But the degrees just all it did was put the bow on the package. I'm still the same person. I'm pro
Right.
black all day.
I ain't gonna stop being that.
Exactly. When I get
Okay.
contracts, I look for black contractors. No, I want you. Until you prove me that you can't do the job, I'm black. Black. If I got the power, black. Come on,
And that's
black.
okay. And that's okay because other
Exactly.
cultures do the same thing. And for some
Exactly.
reason, we're pointed out when we try to do something like that. But other
Exactly.
cultures do the same thing, and it's
All
okay
day.
to give each other a leg up. What is wealth in black mean?
So, wealth in black means that we have to look at our resources and value them as wealth because we think wealth is money. No, money is a form of wealth,
Hmm.
but wealth is not money.
Right. Right.
Money can be wealth, wealth cannot be money because you are wealthy, one, in our heritage, if
Hmm.
we really, really look into it,
Right.
our traditions, our inheritances, and our tangible items. So when we're looking at resources, and I was talking, I forgot who I was talking to about this the other day, even how we send our children off to school. We want them to go to college. You get that degree, you do this, you do that. That's not why white people send their kids to school. They send their children to go learn real life experiences in a controlled environment, allow them to network, allow them
Mm-hmm.
to be them while we're making our children. No, we want you to make the money work,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
want you to go network
Yeah.
because I need you to make friends. I need you to be in places that being here is not going to get you. That's why I'm
Hmm.
sending you off to school.
Right.
So we have to look at those and shift that mindset to where we need to how to put the wealth in black. We have everything we need in our community. We have everything we need to be ultimately successful. And if we can implement those things, simple as just in education, we chose to homeschool our daughter. One, I'm not putting her in that public school in Baltimore. Absolutely not. Because I will take that whole school out, including the parents too. I'm that parent. But in the same sense, I needed to invest in her early so that when she get there, you can't undo what I've done.
Right. That's good. That's good.
It's not your job to teach her. It's your job to give her that diploma. I'll make sure she's black enough. I'll make
Mm.
sure she's everything she needs to know. Because when I send her there, y'all gonna give her the old history to make her feel less than. And that's not my daughter.
Hmm.
That's not my son.
Right.
So wealth in black is making sure that we're doing our due diligence
That's good.
to
That's
make sure
good.
that our and all generations, our children, everybody, because we're still aunties and uncles too.
Right, right. And I'm in education, and
Hmm.
so that says a lot, because a lot of times parents just send their kids to school and say, "Y'all teach them."
Hmm.
My mama was an educator my whole entire, pretty much the majority of my life. But she taught us, I mean, I went to school, I went to public school, but my history and everything that was about me, that came from mom. That came from
Hmm.
mom, dad, what we learned in church, what we learned, things are different now. We could get the black culture. If we didn't get it in school, we could get it in church. We don't have that a lot now because of the
Yeah.
microwave churches we got going on. But what do you say? I love that you homeschool your child. Um, I love that. But what do you say to those parents that are not homeschooling? How do they talk to their kids about just
Well,
blackness,
one,
corporate?
yeah,
What they should? How do you teach your child what to expect when she gets into
right.
corporate America?
Well, one, I would say there are a lot of free programs out there because one of the curriculums I used was free. Can you hear me?
It went down a little bit. Go up. Can you turn your mic? Let's see.
Uh-oh. Hold on. What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
So the curriculums are out there, are available. One, so it's free information. But the primary things that we need to focus on is making sure that the Bible tells us to train our child in the way they should go, not the way we want them to go,
Right.
the way they should go. They should know about finances more than
Right.
just cashing a check.
Right.
We should be able to give them financial literacy early in so that they won't make the mistakes, one that we made or what we didn't know.
Right.
We
Right.
should teach them how to be able to communicate. Now, yes, I want my daughter to be able to throw them hands, but I
Right.
also want her to be able to communicate because I
Right.
want to be able to verbalize it and get it out correctly. Right? We need
Correct.
to teach them communication. We need to teach them how to hone in on their skills because we have some fantastic children out
We
there
do. We
that
do.
naturally know marketing, that
Hmm.
naturally know
Naturally.
coding, but
Yes.
we, even Generation X,
Hmm.
don't look at those because we was pushed.
Right. I can't hear you. Oh no. Hold on, guys. I wanted to stop her because she was spitting some knowledge. Hold on. Can you hear me? Bear with us just a moment. Get this volume. Hello?
Did it work?
It did. It did.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I was
You was
going
about to spit some knowledge. I was
in.
like, wait a minute before you go in.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
But no, we need to teach them the truth about sex
Yes.
because it wasn't a conversation in the black household.
No. No.
And if
No.
we be honest, you need to tell your kids it's gonna feel good.
Yeah, I
But I
agree.
wanted you to be comfortable with it. I want you
Yes.
to know that I need you to be so in love with your body that you're not going to do such and such.
Right.
Not because I don't want you to, because you love your body enough to protect it, boys
Right.
and girls.
Right.
We need to listen to them. We need to
That's
talk about active listening, making sure that you're hearing the other person and not jumping off and ready to crash out.
that's
But
good.
then also teach them political ways too, because we shouldn't teach our kids just hold your hands up. No, they should be able to navigate those type of situations too.
Right.
And
Right.
these are things that we know as adults that we can say, listen, this is what we need to tell you,
Right.
right? I come from the South. They tell us to keep our head down. We're naturally, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes.
Hmm.
No, sometimes I cut that sir out. No, because no is a complete sentence.
Right.
Right.
Right. I like that. I like that. What do you think is the biggest misconception in gaining generational wealth?
That is expensive. And that is for white people. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's that white people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that's just the
Mm-hmm.
way it was presented.
Right.
Doing a trust is free. Getting something to put in the trust is not expensive. My
Right.
daughter turned 1. I wanted to energetically create wealth in her life. So when she turned 1, I bought her first piece of property. That property was $850.
Mm.
And he let me make 2 payments.
Mm.
The property is out there.
Right.
You can get 10 acres right now for $0 down, $399 a month. Oh, that's a lot. But the Jordans is how much?
Right.
You're getting a
Right.
new pair every month.
Right.
So would I rather have 10 acres or whether
Right.
I rather my child can do a skip a month for some Jordans?
Right. Right.
It's all about positioning the way we look at wealth.
Mm-hmm.
When we're, and I did a study, and the top 2 things that black people are consumed: hair and personal products and apparel. is their top two things.
Mm-hmm.
The white consumer, the first two things they invest in, real estate
Real estate property. Mm-hmm.
and other assets. It's a mindset shift.
It
So
is.
we have the generational wealth because we have the know-how, the knowledge, and other things that culture don't. But in the same sense, what are we doing with it?
Right. Right.
And when I show people how to get, I'm like, it blows their mind on how easy and simple it is to get. I don't need to show you how much money I got. That's not your business. But I could, my net worth is enough for to get approved for whatever I need. And that's what we need. We need to
Right.
not try to show each other. I don't have to wear Fendi. I feel good in something from Former Mills. Now I ain't
Hey.
get this from Former Mills. I'm sure what I got. But I go to Former Mills and get a pair of slacks in two
Right.
seconds and go
Right.
in on a $30,000 contract and teach a 1 day class.
Mm.
I don't have to have Gucci
Yeah.
to value my worth.
Right.
But if you open up my real estate portfolio, we got 8 properties
That's
off
what.
little to no money down.
Right. That's what's important. And it is. It's a mindset. I
It's a
agree.
mindset.
What does it look like to have an actionable business system?
You said an actionable.
Uh-huh. Business system.
If I understand the question correctly, we're talking about an actual business.
Business. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what makes it actionable is that it has an integral foundation. Let's start there. You listen, quit listen to these people online. Get you an LLC. Go do this. Get 100,000 in funding. Let me stop you there because it ain't that easy. I do business funding. Is it obtainable? Yes. But is there a way that you have to go about it? Yes. Does it take time? Yes. So if you don't have a solid foundation as a business, because one, we have to keep in mind that we are the number one consumers. We tip the economy. The economy is a social system made up of 3 parts of consumerism, which is us,
Mm-hmm.
the people, the manufacturers who make the product, and the
Mm-hmm.
people who sell the product. Those are the 3 people, 3 aspects of the economy. If we can flip it and become either the seller or the producer, we will make them buy from us. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how you need to set up your business.
That's
Don't
good.
focus your business on things that only appeal to us. They already got our money. Appeal to them and get their money.
That's
One
good.
thing, I don't need a tan. They do. But what's one of the top selling franchises? Tanning salon.
Mm.
Well, let me go get my little
The,
20,000 and go get a.
tennis slide.
You don't need to be there. You got to put the right person there to open up that door. They open up a nail shop over here. Okay, bet. I can bet you I can go open up something over in your place. Let's switch
Mm.
sides. So having a game plan and a solid foundation in your business, making sure that it is established right, not to get the quick fix, not to go in there with quick funding, because with the quick funding, all they're doing is making you go get 12 to 13 or more credit cards and
Mm-hmm.
take all the money out. You still got to pay it back.
Right.
Like, let's just be real about it.
Right.
Get it established. America is a business. That's why they cater to businesses. So if you become a business, which is
Business.
what they don't teach us in school, they teach us to
Mm-hmm.
get a job.
Right.
But if you set your business up successfully, there's nowhere you cannot take it. That is it. And then what you have to do is look to see what is the next steps in business. Because right now everything is moving to AI, but it's going to flip because AI can't handle everything. They can't be a plumber. Plumbers
Mm.
make over $100 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Electricians, the ones that we hire, make 185 base an hour.
Mm-hmm.
To
Mm-hmm.
come in here on a 2 hour minimum to
Right.
tell me I need to call BG&E. You could have told me that over the phone.
Right.
So we're not sitting, we and us as a community don't put the emphasis on the right things. And like I tell, when we try to help people that are transitioning out of incarceration, we try to make sure that they understand what's the equivalent of the money that you were making before you went in. If you was a drug dealer, I can't. You already know there's not going to be too many jobs going to be giving you $1,000 every 3 hours. But
Right.
let me help you find something that's equivalent to where you
Right.
can work on your own, make your, do what you need to do so you don't want to go back to
Go
that.
back to that. Right.
And if we so I brought that up to say across the board, if we show our children where it ain't got to be fast money, but I can show you how to make the same money,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
where you won't get in trouble, it'll be yours and you don't have
Right.
to worry about it.
Right.
We don't do that. They do that. We don't.
I love that, guys. If y'all want to hear more about Dr. Joy, she does have a book out. What's it
I got
called?
four.
You have what?
I got 4 books.
Oh, you have 4 books. Okay, so
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just seen Checkmate by Dr. Joy Young. It's on Kindle. That one right there.
And on Amazon, you
And
get the
on
hard
Amazon.
copy.
The hard copy. Um, and so I wanted to ask you because you're going to be a speaker at the conference coming up as well.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I am. Me and my wife, we're doing the love conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think
So
that's
what's
one of
what's y'all class over? What is the class you and your wife are teaching?
if I saw it correctly, it was supposed to be like a love conversation. I saw the flyer, I mean the itinerary when it came out. So I know we're having like a love talk or something. It's like
Okay.
a yeah.
So that's for the Black Queer Women's Conference.
Yes, in
What does that mean to
September.
you two that you guys are able to have a conference?
One that I love how people view us and that we're setting good examples. And that makes me feel good because we really do live out loud. Like
Mhm.
the stuff I post on Facebook is literal stuff that happened in our house, you know, and we're so open and free to share our relationship, the issues that we've had, because nothing's worked, but we've been killing this game. We've been together going on 14 years. We've been married 7, going on 8 years.
Okay.
So
So yeah.
we've learned how to navigate through it. And if that can help anybody, because we see a lot of our friends that are not surviving, and it's like, we get it, but let's talk through it because
Right.
maybe it's just something you just not hearing
Maybe
because
it's
we
just a
love you together.
conversation. Yeah.
Exactly, because we love you together.
That's
And
right.
I think if you surround yourself in a circle of friends that love each other, it just rubs off on everybody because we have friends
I
that have
agree.
rubbed off on our relationship. And so just being able to share our story, share our perspective, it's an honor.
I agree. Well, how has your relationship been with Swagher so far?
With who?
Swagher, how has it been with us?
Um, I'm still taking it in because I'm like, I want to start getting out there more. So this has been a great opportunity. So
Good.
I'm looking forward to doing more. I know when I reached out to LaJoy, she was like, "You're too busy for so." I said, "I know," but I would make sure that every time she has things going on, if there's anything that I can support, whether sponsorship or be present, I will 100% be there. I think swag her. I think everything the black educated lesbian or everything that's involved is so powerful, impactful, and is needed for our community as a whole
Good.
because we don't represent just one aspect of our community. It
Right.
represents so much of us, and we just have so many good voices out there that needs to be heard.
That's good. Well, I don't have anything else. Was there anything else you wanted to leave the people before I let you go?
Absolutely. You are your greatest commodity,
I love that.
and everybody's success is different. And you don't have to compare your success to nobody else to be successful. Everybody's success is different. And the gift that you have, just because did not haven't uncovered it yet, doesn't mean you don't have one.
That's good. That's a
That's
good
it.
word.
It's
That's
all
a good
about you
word.
being the greatest you can be.
That's a good word. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, giving me a few minutes of your time. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Hopefully, I'll get to meet you at the conference. I'm trying to get out there since we're doing the media part of it.
Yeah,
And so I'm going to try to get out there and I hope that I can meet you. Okay.
absolutely. Thank you again. And I look forward to seeing you in September.
All right. Well, you have a good one and have a
You
wonderful
too.
4th of July.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, bye bye.
All right, y'all. So thank you guys for joining me so much. Don't forget to like and share the conversation. Um, Dr. Joy gave us a lot of good information as far as being an entrepreneur and just having generational health and about just education, just talking to us about just the education of her own homeschool child and what she's putting into her child. But if you could just go ahead and like and share it, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Tune in next time for our next segment of what's going on. Something is always going on. So we'll always have something to say. So I appreciate everybody just taking the time to drop in and say what's up. Y'all have a wonderful Independence Day weekend. Y'all be safe. Be safe with them firecrackers, and y'all have a good time. God bless you. Good night.